Welcome back to Factorio Seablock, and it's time to, well, carry on with this whole build for our various metals. One of the first things I want to do is complete this setup. We just left this second line hanging. That's because I need to do research for glass, and that's now done. But we can't use blast furnaces for glass. What we have to use is a powder mixer. Okay, it's tiny. Look at it. So we may have to have more than one of those. Depends, I guess, whether how fast this actually is. Ooh, and that looks like I'm missing a... let's just remove you. Yep, get rid of you. And that's the only space, of course, where there is no power. So if we then select glass mixture from here, all we need to supply it with is silicon. So we can just extend this quite quickly. And insert silicon when it comes out of this machine. Now, it's blocked at the moment because tin is blocked, and that's why that whole thing isn't working. However, we've accumulated quite an amount so far, so we may as well process it. There's no real reason why we shouldn't. And let's just say the pickups from there. Okay, so that's going to go into the powder mixer, which looks to be relatively fast. Let's see how many of these do you actually need to make molten glass. You need 12. Okay. That's fine, I'll leave it alone for the moment because this is blocked by tin, because tin is just going into half building and using it for science. We're not using it for anything else at the moment. We need to improve that later, but as long as we're processing some more, so that'll do fine. And on this side, what we're probably going to want to do is just to buffer it up into a box again. Let's just put it there, shall we? And put a box in of some kind. Yep, there we go. So that'll just box up the glass until we need it. Now, on the other side of things, I've been bulking, taking up, if you like. So all these that are now Electrolyzer Mark IIs, I have been making a couple in my inventory, I think. Electrolyzer Mark II, I've only got one. Can we get more? Do I have enough resources for more? Out of steel, and I think I'm processing steel down there at the moment, so that's fine. So on this side, we're going to take these up as well. Eventually, I'm going to move this array to where the other one is, so they're all together. But for the moment, I just need an electrolyzer in there. That is, of course, producing slag. I then bulked up the slag production, so just adding more processing. So let's go down here. You'll see I've now rearrange this whole section. It looks a lot neater and tidier. We're just sending the mud this way instead. And this side, we've got the slag coming in to all, now 4 of these. You can see them going yellow occasionally. That means their output's blocked because they've, well, basically, they're filling that pipe. Pipe's heading down here and being used by our filtration units. So we're going to need more filtration units. I think I made some, hopefully I made some. Filtration units, there we go. So we just need a gap of 1 between each one and rotating it that way. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's see if that's enough to actually keep this going, or at least to keep us in in mineral sludge. Yep. So that is being used, and it's being used pretty much only by the iron and copper at the moment, because on this side, because everything's backed up, so is the bobmonium, which means that it's not really using this mineral sludge too much. There's that one still in operation, but the rest are blocked in output. So that is all okay as well. And we just want to make sure we have more than enough capacity when I add another setup of furnaces for lead and nickel, was it? We'll see very soon. I'm just going to reset this up. In fact, we can just maybe just blueprint this. I'm going to need to make quite a bit of belt and quite a bit of pipe. Yeah, we're going to need some more pipe. So then let's just grab a blueprint of everything from here to say here. We'll connect everything up later. I just don't want to go any further than that because that's the processing center at the top there. Let's just accept that. And now will this fit in if I just move you there? Yeah, looks okay. at least to me. And then we'll obviously need to send one pipe manually to here, and that will then attach. So I'm going to, well, the bots should take care of it once I build more bots. And how am I short of bots? Yeah, let's just make more of those. Yeah, I'm completely out of bots now, but that will shorten this time significantly. Let me make those few bits and pieces, and then we'll move on. And that's done over there. It's now producing, well, it's capable of producing more mineral sludge, but of course we're pretty much backed up on it, because the only one that's actually producing at the moment is this iron and copper stack of crystallizers, and as such the pipe is full, and you see all these are yellow. I've had to craft more filter frames. Do remember to do that when you expand this setup, and put them into the top machine. We can then just drop these spare ones onto the line as well, and that will make sure that there's enough to go around in the system. So with the blueprints, I've now set up an entirely new chain, and this is just going to be our the metals. So let's just see what we can put in here. Well, yeah, it's going to be rubite, isn't it? There's no real choice over that, at least for the moment. And we're going to need more power poles, which is why my pocket crafting is doing that. And if I go over here, maybe the bots will decide they want to fill out the rest of the thing. You want to fill out the rest? Sort of looks like they do. Good. I need extended range for these. Oh, I'm out of bots. I both need extended range and more bots, but I'll do that off camera. You get the idea. This is just going to be set up identically. The only difference is then what we're going to create with it. So why won't you let me search for you? Let's go for lead then. And crushed rubite. So rubite or crushed rubite. Don't have the recipe yet. Yes, so it's going to be nickel. So we're going to need to process the nickel somehow. That's going to be in an ore processing machine, maybe? Or we can just put it in a blast furnace with carbon monoxide. That's interesting. Anything else we can do it? No, we've got to do something different with this. So I don't have advanced nickel smelting 2 yet, but if we did have, what would we get? We'd go through and get pellet press, nickel pellets maybe, or nickel cathodes. Okay, what do we do with nickel pellets? Only nickel carbonyl into nickel ingots. And through that method, we can get to, well, I presume we can get to, is it just bronze that we're going to use for this? We can combine it to get a lot more molten steel. That might be interesting. I'll have a think about that one later, but that does mean I'm not going to be able to use the second line in a simple fashion, so we don't need to worry about it too much. I removed the powder mixer because I blueprinted it from this thing, and the powder mixer is not going to help for things other than glass. Fine, onward. Now there is one exception with lead. We can't process it without oxygen. We need it to make lead ingots, and we'll get sulfur dioxide out, I think. Let's just have a look. Lead is going to be processed. Yeah, sulfur dioxide. That's what we're going to get out. So we're going to need oxygen in. Now we could pipe it from the rest of our factory, but it'd be nice to have this quite modular. And you'd expect that, yeah, you know, we're probably breathing oxygen, so maybe there's a way to get that. So if we have a look at oxygen, we can get it from compressed air and use a chemical plant to do it. Some kind, and the compressed air we can get using an air filter because we've got the research for that, nitrogen processing 1. So we want an air filter and a chemical plant. Would be nice if you'd think air filter would only come up with one thing, but it's searching for both air and filter. Can we actually use this to? Yes, we can. Good. Okay. Steel, do we want to build the Mark II one? Let's just build a Mark I one to start off with, and a chemical plant, if I have enough stuff. I don't. Why don't I have enough stuff? Iron. I do have a small box of iron. I'm just getting there, but that's not enough. We're actually researching electrical energy and distribution now because I'm fed up of making wooden poles. I want to make electrical, the regular kind of metal poles, assuming we have enough Iron, that is. Okay, so what was I going? A chemical? Do I have enough now? Well, for that, maybe we can just make that for now, and then we can improve it later. So if I put it this way, then I just need to feed in oxygen here. We are, however, also going to get nitrogen, so we're going to need a flare stack to get rid of it. I've already got one of those as well. Good. So we should be okay to get started. Maybe we should build it along this way and go backwards. So if we have oxygen... oh, thanks for placing that power pole. Stupid bots. Well, not stupid, but you get the idea. So let's just see which side of this it comes out on. We want the compressed air to... So let's just see if there's an air. Yeah, there we go. So it's the wrong way around. It's always the wrong way around. I'm going to rotate it. Yeah, let's just put it down like that. That's a shame. I'll have to go this way with the flare stack, but that's okay. Let's put the flare stack that way. There we go. And we want to power both of them, don't we? That will do. So then we'll just choose the air recipe again. And then we just need to connect up U to U. And we'll just go this way with the solid pipe. 1, 2. And now this just needs compressed air. So we're going to have to build this vertically instead of horizontally, but that's fine. So we need that air filter. Did I make one? I did. Looks like, wow, that's quite large. Yeah, let's hope that is enough. Yeah, it's just producing compressed air from air, obviously. So that should be enough to produce our oxygen. There it is. It's coming in. And then we're going to be feeding out sulfur dioxide. Now, sulfur dioxide can be used for a bunch of different things. I think the main thing, however, let's just grab that, is sulfuric acid. So is there anything else? Pulp in liquor we don't need. Sulfur, I guess we could, but we need a lot of other things like electric engine units to do that. We could barrel it up, but mainly we can put it into sulfuric acid, which just needs some purified water. So that can come from oxygen and hydrogen. Maybe I should go to oxygen a different way and use an electrolyzer. But for now, I guess it's a gas. We can just get rid of it. So we can just flare stack that as well. Let's just do that. In later processes, we will probably need to reuse that down here. At least we know we have a source of sulfuric acid from the lead processing if we need it. Where's my box? Are you got anything in it? A little bit. Enough for a flare stack, hopefully. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we'll just flare stack that off, and let's put it over here somewhere near a power pole once it finishes manufacturing. I don't want to put it here in case I need to put something here. Let's just put it there. Then we can just feed to it from this. And I need a power pole, don't I? Yep, there we go. And a straight pipe, and everything should be running. So lead should be producing now. Yep, it's going into molten lead, which is going to go around. And how is there already some lead down here? I don't understand. Maybe it started? Very odd. In any case, I'll just ignore that that problem. And let's just send our lead up this way. And we're going to need to combine it with that, aren't we? And it's on the wrong side. Fine. How am I going to combine this nicely? What we could do is, I guess, just do something like this for now. And then will that let me combine it? Horribly, mind you, but combine it with a splitter, which I need even more iron. I need to bulk up the iron production. Certainly getting enough copper. We're not using a lot of copper at this stage. One splitter. Let's get some more belts going. And then hopefully the two of those will be combined quite nicely like this. Will you feed into the other side of the belt naturally if I do that? You will. Good. Okay, so that is feeding lead in there for now. Tidy this up later. It's just something temporary for now. And we're done with lead production. So, moving on. Okay, so I did tidy that up. much neater and tidier now. And I've just upgraded both of the, well, all of the iron and copper infrastructure, or at least the stuff that produces the ores, up to Mark II versions now. And obviously you can see I have added more crystallizers, and we can add even another one on here to make it symmetric, ish. But as you can see, we're down on mineral sludge. I put an overflow valve here so that it only feeds to tin and lead if we are overflowing the amount, the fuel for, essentially the fuel for iron and copper. However, this is one demonstration of why you need to have enough filter frames in the system. You'll see that this one is basically stuck, and I think it's actually purified water, not filter frames. Yeah, it's purified water, although I do want to make more filter frames anyway. Let's just make sure. I ideally want this line full, or as close to full as possible, and then we don't have to worry about that. We can see it visually if there's any problems. It is purified water, so where are we getting purified water from? I think it's coming from this line here, so it's coming up here and coming out of this factory, which is processing pretty fast, but it's a single chemical plant. Do we have enough to get to a tier 2 one of those? That would be the simplest way of doing it. Chemical plant, advanced chemical plant. No, that's pretty much the fastest one we've got, I think. Chemical furnaces, no, they're no good. So, what are we feeding into it? We are feeding oxygen, and we're feeding hydrogen, which we would expect to be able to produce both of those from electrolyzers. So from over here, we've got oxygen, and we've got hydrogen. It's the hydrogen that's feeding, presumably over here. No, we're not. Did I disconnect it accidentally? Maybe I did. No. It's, yeah. That's the problem right there. That isn't connected to anything, so it's just distracting me. So we've got the hydrogen coming over here, through between these machines, and back up here. So even that gigantic output of hydrogen is, well, in fact, that's flare stacking at the top. We don't want it flare stacking unless it's, yeah. So what I want to do there is just make sure I have a valve. Let's just grab an overflow valve. That should do the job. And we probably want to do the same thing with the hydrogen as well. So let's make sure that's in place. That's been boosted up now. What about the bottom of the system? Yep, that's much nicer. And the oxygen, do we have an overflow valve on the oxygen? Presumably we are flare stacking it somewhere, although it's heading off into that direction. So let's just see whether this is now solved our purified water problem. Well, we've certainly got enough input on both sides, but the output is still being pretty massively consumed. So the good part about that is, though, that this is it's a nice process in that we can just create a parallel chemical plant. Let's just grab one of you. Placing it somewhere is more the difficulty, and that is something I should work on. If we can move this belt out, that makes it much easier. This carbon belt is also slightly in the way, and as is this sulfuric waste water. So yeah, I may have to do something sort of ugly-ish. Can we bring down extra oxygen, I wonder? The oxygen's coming out of here, which is going through. Yeah, so that is coming from the same system. It's just coming through this side, and we are flare stacking it with an overflow valve. Good. So if I move that flare stack, then we can put a chemical plant somewhere else, maybe even here-ish. It might not fit because of this pump. Okay, to fix that problem, I just added a factory assembly machine down here take mud off the end of this line. That meant I no longer needed to split the mud off here, which let me tidy this area up significantly. Also just move the sulfuric wastewater down a little bit, and then we've got space for more chemical plants. There is room here to mirror this, but when you flip it around, its inputs are obviously the wrong way around, so you can't just do that. So the chemical plant we should be able to put back down now. Chemical plants, are you in here somewhere? There you are. Okay. And then we should be able to just make sure that we're inserting correctly. Ooh, we got a space there. We've got to put a space in between these ones. Yeah, their inputs are too close together. That will be fine. We can just change that to a regular pipe. Flip it around with a pipe to ground, and then we should be able to just copy the recipe in. We need to feed both of those out once there, and then this can go here. That should work, I think. Let's put the pipe to ground, and we'll have more space there if we need it. We don't want to pollute these together, so we do need to put pipe to grounds there, and that will work fine. We just need some power. Let's put it there, let's say. Okay, oxygen, and I need to reconnect I need to reconnect the hydrogen, otherwise that won't work. There we go. Okay, so now we've got double the amount being produced, and there's no other byproducts, so we're pretty much safe. And it's still all being used. Maybe I need to make more of this. Okay, can we do have another chemical plant? I'll do this a bit off camera. Let me just make sure I've got enough. I don't have enough. I need to go and get more resources. Okay, back in a minute. Actually, no, we're fine. It just took a moment or two to catch up. There you go. You see, we're not full, but we are above zero, which means all these should be capable of running now as long as there's filter frames in the system. You'll see essentially that filter frames are constantly flowing past, but occasionally one of these will go red, and that's why I want to make sure that there is a filter frame in the system for them. And then this is keeping up with now 9 crystallizers. Do we have enough room for a 10th one just to sort of add a symmetric aspect to this? It's straightforward to add them, of course, at this point. I think I remember, did I say it was 12 or 14 that a Mark 1 ore crusher could keep up with, maybe? So, yeah, let's just add another one in and get you scaled up so that you're running. In fact, we can just cheap out here and just use solid copper pipe all the way down. Good part about that, there's just no need for any interruptions on this side. And now that we've got electrical energy distribution, it means I can make electric poles from copper and steel rather than waiting to forage stuff. I'm much happier with that. And I just need a couple of inserters, but one will do for now. Copy paste, and that is now 10 crystallizers going into one setup. So you can see right here, we should have more iron being produced. Yeah, it's backing up. Why are you backing up? Probably because I don't have enough basic circuit boards in there again. Let me just put you in that. I need to go and see if our system has built up a sort of oversupply of them. We've got plenty of copper now, so we should be able to do it. And pretty much hand moving stuff across, hand ladling stuff across is probably the best way to do things at the moment. It's just still too compact and too complicated. We're starting to move the furnace side of things out so that will be less of a problem. But as you can see on the map over here on the top right, we've got some room to expand upwards, but then we're going to hit our sort of first ring of biters that we have to deal with, and that's going to need military technology to get past. Grenades, I can't throw them far enough. Turrets, I can't... I don't have anything that's long enough range than these worms themselves, so we have to deal with that somehow, which needs military technology to do so. Ooh, 257. Do we have enough? Let's just put some more iron in here. It takes it a while. The stuff is constantly producing, but it's quite a slow process. I'm not bothering speeding it up at the moment. It is fast enough for our research. What we've currently got on research is the steam electric engine generators, which is a fancy way of saying Mark II steam engines. Mark II steam engines are really much better than Mark Is, and they normally need Mark II boilers as well. So let me just see if is there a boiler research we were able to do. Electric boilers, no. I also want boilers Mark II. That needs advanced material processing advanced material processing, which gives us steel furnaces as well. Now, because we're using blast furnaces, not steel furnaces, so it's not like a vanilla game. So I'm not quite so sure whether they'll have a use other than maybe steel production. I'm really just, you know, splitting off some steel and just grabbing it whenever I need to at the moment. We need to think about something more permanent than that kind of system. So let me just finish this by putting like a full stack of 200 in there, and that should finish off our Mark II steam engines, which of course we then need the boilers as well. So I need to research that, and then we'll come back once that's done. Alright, so our boiler research is done, and remember we're during the day here, so we're only just keeping ahead of production, ahead of satisfaction, or whichever way around those two are. Yeah, so 2.5 megawatts of that, however, is the solar panels, so we definitely need to upgrade. So let's do that. Where are my boilers? Mark IIs, and let's just run along this line, and it should only place them in the locations where there are Mark Is. Good. So those are all Mark II boilers now, and that means I can put my steam engines back. My steam engines, I tried the Mark IIs, they need the Mark II boilers, definitely. So let's put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can hear them slowing down, and hopefully that means just because they're able to produce so much more power. Yeah, look at that. That's much, much better. And that should mean that they don't consume fuel quite as fast, which is even better. Let's take a look at the stats of these things. So boiler Mark I consumes 3.6 megawatts. Okay, efficiency 50%. And consumption 5.1 megawatts. Okay, that's less than double. Yeah, much less than double, in fact. Efficiency is better. And then if we look at the steam engines, of course, steam engines, Mark I outputs 900 kilowatts. Mark II outputs 2.1 megawatts, so over twice as much. So combining both of those together, we'll get a nicer production of power, which is exactly what we're doing now. So let's just get rid of that flashing. And where am I up to with? So I need to replace this one, and then so I need 8, 9, and 9. I've got 9 steam engine Mark Is, which is what you'd expect. So we should be able to make 3 of those, and then I can complete the rest off camera. And in order for the system to now to overflow, to make more lead, we're having a bit of a lead shortage. It has to get past this, which means the amount of mineral sludge we have has to pass 80. So to do that, I then bulked up our chemical plants up here that's taking in the slag, which means deactivating our landfill system. It's unfortunate, but I just need much, much more mineral sludge to get things going, which of course is now going quite well. We are building up iron quite nicely in just this little sort of side box I have to make sure everything stays going. And now that we have the better furnaces, we're just going to set up here, which produces steel. And we get enough spare iron that they will just keep going. And the only way to really increase this now is just increase the amount of slag that we're actually producing. And that is back to electrolyzers again. So that's going to need 4 more steel plates, which should be lucky enough. 3, 4, and we can take another electrolyzer. We've got an array of 7 here, an array of 9 here. So what I may well do between the episodes is move them across and make them into an array of 10 either side, something like that. But in the meantime, I can, of course, just upgrade these, and that will do. Where's my electrolyzer gone? There you are. Not you. No, not you. You. Okay. So they should all keep working. I also removed the splitter from these. Sorry, well, it's acting as a merge. It wasn't quite working correctly, even though the belt behind it wasn't fully compressed. Sorry, the belt after it wasn't fully compressed. It was still occasionally sending stuff to the landfill. So I just got rid of it, and I split the 2 belts into just feeding into the first 3 for one, and the second 3 for another. I know it looks like it's feeding 2, but it's not. There's the third one. It's just getting it from that last bit of belt. And heavy armor, because I'm going to need to go up against the worms pretty soon. Which brings me to a good point to ask you guys to comment. How should we take care of those worms? Turrets or personally? I'm favouring turrets, but the turrets I think we need are sniper turrets. Maybe. We'll see. Depends how, presumably these are higher range. Range 30 versus our current turrets. What's our current turrets? We've got is range 18, so much higher range. Good. To get those, however, we've got to get the ablative weapons testing kit, so let's have a look for packs. Oops, pack. And where is the ablative weapons testing kit? In here. Nope, nope. No. No. Have we already got it? We have already got it. So we need to get to making that. So let's just take a look at packs here. And we should probably do this next episode if we can get to it. Kinetic test target plating. That's where we need to get brass and invar. So that's something we have to do next. And then we just need... we've got everything else. Yeah, so brass and invar. Invar is iron. I thought I was going to do this episode. Nickel. Nickel needs an actual special sort of production line, not something that's amazingly obvious. And we're going to need a few bits and pieces of technology to get this done. Brass plates, is that easier? Zinc. Zinc I need to get from zinc ore, presumably. Zinc ore I'm going to get from sapphirite or jivelite, but unlike normal angels and bobs, we're actually going to need to generate all this stuff. So we can get it from bobmonium chunks, and we get cobalt and zinc from that. So, in fact, can we get it from just regular bobmonium? No, it's from chunks. So we need to go back through this. So we need hydro refining next and flotation cells. And then we need to extend this system in the middle here to get us some more metals. And we also need to extend this system to process nickel. So that'll be next episode for definite. We're going to have to get there and do that. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. As always, guys, feel free to like, subscribe, share. If you've got any suggestions or if you've seen anything wrong, do let me know in the comments. And otherwise, as always, thanks for watching.